Alrighty, good morning folks. It is a bright, sunshiny day in here in West Texas in El Paso. Today, we are going to be detailing and washing a GMC Sierra with the team. I was actually scheduled to be on a different project on a paint correction. I decided to join the team today. We've got a new guy starting with one of our other team members, Santiago, so I figured I would come out here and give them a hand with a few things to kind of keep things on track in the direction and make sure that really things are going in the direction that we'd like to go as a business. So with that being said, full detail, exterior, interior, wash, wax, and just standard, more what kind of falls into the maintenance category. We're not really doing anything special. Actually, we were actually out here last week. Customer saw the job that we did and said, hey, you took care of my wife's car, go ahead and take care of my truck as well. So that's the reason why we're here today. So we were able to get this customer onto another vehicle. So repeat customer, customer retention, all things that are important in the detailing industry and just business in general. So without further ado, I'm going to jump in with the team and kind of go through a few things that we will be working with today. So hopefully you follow along and stick around and learn a bit more about mobile detailing and about the business that we run.
All right, Mike, so I see you do have a new employee. What's the reason for the new hiree? Are you expanding or did you lose somebody?
Yeah, really good question. So today, as mentioned, I'm kind of on site here with a new guy. Wanted to make sure things are on the right track. But to answer your question, it's a bit of both. So we just expanded into our second van, and the new guy is actually a part of the new fleet, but we actually lost someone in the new van last week. So the new guy is here today, kind of a replacement to that, but also part of the expansion that we're going through. And so far so good. He's been a really good player for the team this morning.
Okay. As far as hiring a new employee, what's one of the first things that you want them to learn as a detailer working for your business?
It really comes down to process and procedure, and of course, fitting well with the team. And that's kind of two things that I really look for. So making sure, one, that he's trained properly, and when he's trained properly, then he kind of understands that process and procedure that we're typically used to, because you can kind of think of it about almost like McDonald's. So what I mean by that is if I go to vacation in Florida or I go to vacation in New York, I'm gonna go for a Big Mac. That Big Mac's gonna taste exactly the same, look exactly the same, and be the same size. So when any team member handles one of our vehicles, we wanna make sure that they get the same quality job and customer experience that we provide to all of our customers, whether I'm doing it personally, whether another team lead is handling it, or whether the new team is handling it as well. So it's very important for us to have that process and procedure. So today he's kind of learning the ropes. He's not really being thrown into anything that's super heavy or specific skill set driven, because he's new to the detailing world, but just understanding equipment, what chemicals to use, what that process is for those equipment, how to use the equipment, how to handle, basically starting off with vacuum today was primarily his first task. So really understanding how to operate that. So it's important for all that process and procedure to be one of our first drives that come out for someone new. And then kind of meshing well with the team. So with the team today, I'm kind of observing how he's working with the team. Is he able to handle constructive feedback or direction? And then also how how is he working with the communication as well? So communication is really strong with us, because for us, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this, and the other team members, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this. So it's like I'm taking X, you take Y, and then kind of just working together. There's a few things that we look for in between that, but that's pretty much high level as the two core components that we really drive to ensure that we have a good leg up when they start, and then the rest of the stuff kind of happens through the next couple weeks as he's, getting a feel for it himself and just, wanting to ensure that, hey, this is right for me, I'm in the right environment. And there's one quote that I want to say. I'm a big quotes guy. I know I haven't been saying too many quotes lately, but it's, I believe it was Sir Richard Branson, Virgin Mobile, the galactic space stuff that he does. Anyways, he said, you train your employees well enough to leave, but you treat them well enough to stay. So that's one thing that I really look out for too, is that we're taking care of the people to ensure that they're happy, that they have the time off that they need, that they have all of the equipment and the tools and the resources to make sure that they're able to do the job in the most efficient way possible. And just, of course, taking care of them with camaraderie in a different way, being the right team member or the right team lead, and very important. So I want to train them well enough where they feel like they can do their own detailing business, and maybe that's their next step is to do that. That's awesome, because there's a big market here. There's nothing that's aggressive or selfish for me to say, no, this is the only detailing job and you're going to sign a no compete ad. a no-compete agreement or something of that nature. No, train them well enough to leave, treat them well enough to stay. So I think if you train them well enough to leave, they're really developing the skill sets and understanding the business enough that they can do it on their own. And while I'm handling another project, I know they're good to go, which is the most important thing, because I don't want to be stressing about what the kind of job they're doing, or the customer calling me the next day saying, hey, they missed something, and then we've got to go back out to the job. We got to pay for gas and all the overhead that's associated with going back to vacuum underneath one seat. So quite a bit in terms of what we're looking for new employees, but it's not an easy thing, and nowadays it's hard to find good work, so we try to give them a good leg up and make sure that they understand our process and procedure. So it's exciting though, what we're going through, the growth and the new people, so it's a good thing.
Hello, Santiago. So it's my understanding that you're helping out with the expansion and training new employees. I want to go ahead and ask, what do you look for in an individual when you're training them to find out they're a good fit for the company?
So one of the first things I look for is the fact that if they're really good at detailing, if they pay attention to the detail in a way that they're just, catching what I'm catching or seeing what I'm seeing. A lot of the times I try to ask them about questions about more, themselves and what they like to do and why they find this job kind of job that they want to do. So they end up telling me whatever they want, and then I just end up gauging it from there, and then I'm able to assess the situation a little bit more and able to understand what kind of person would be a good fit for the company. Like if they don't like detailing and they're just here for a job, it won't be, one of the things that I look for. If they're here and they actually like the work, like the job, like the therapeuticness of, detailing a car is something that I really actually kind of look for. Like someone says, yeah, I like doing it. And I always ask them why, and they always tell me it's therapeutic for me. And that's one of the telling signs that, okay, this person's gonna do the job and he's gonna like what he's doing because he finds the therapy behind it.
Santiago, go ahead and let me know a little bit about you and how you started with the company, where you at, and how you're enjoying it so far.
So I started about a year ago, and it was actually quite therapeutic for me to actually pick up detailing as a non-detailer. I was trained, and then they explained to me how to properly do things, how to properly use equipment, and that was one of the bigger things that I had struggled with, is learning how to run the generators, learning how to use the power washers, just excited the equipment that you're using. And then once you get the equipment done, then it comes down to the detailing part, and then the detailing part is one of the funner things to do, I would say, especially because you'd be working on a car, and if you like working on cars and you make things look good, it's one of the things that I really truly enjoy.
All right, Mike, so it's been a successful wash on today's truck. How did the new employee do? What did you see? How did he perform?
Well, the new team member today did an excellent job. Really impressed with his abilities, his skill sets, and his drive. You could just kind of see the initiative, the pep in the step. So those are quite a bit of first good signs. We talked a little bit about some of the process and some of the procedures, so it was very good to accept some of the direction and the feedback. So overall, really good first impression. Really digging the vibe that we got, the energy that's coming off. So time will tell. So we look forward to having him for several more details and see how everything turns out. But overall, it was a really good day today. So we did the interior and the exterior, and as you can see, the shine is really starting to show on the Sierra. It looks like it's a new truck for the customer. So he said when he got it from the dealership, it just wasn't. It didn't feel new to him, so now hopefully when he gets in it, it's going to be just like his wife's car. So hopefully be able to give that same energy that his wife gave off to him. So good day, great new team member, really excited about Jesus being on the team, so we really look forward to the upcoming washes.